Hello everyone, my name is Ariel Tucker, and today we will be discussing Edith Head, the famed costume designer from Hollywood's golden age. Edith is best known for being the chief costume designer for Paramount Studios, creating some of Hollywood's most iconic and indelible designs. Today, many people may recognize her as the inspiration for the character Edna Mode from the Disney film The Incredibles. She still holds the record for the most Academy Awards for costume design at a whopping 8 wins, not to mention 35 nominations and over 1,000 screen credits. Though her costume designs were often quite vibrant and flashy, Edith herself only liked to wear 4 colors: black, white, beige, and brown. Edith Head was born October 28, 1897, in San Bernardino, California. She studied languages and graduated with honors from University of California at Berkeley in 1919, and subsequently earned her master's degree from Stanford. Initially working as a languages teacher, Edith applied for a job as a costume sketch artist in 1923 at then-famous Players Lasky, soon to be renamed Paramount Studios. The sketches she brought to her interview were borrowed from a classmate. Edith claimed the only reason she managed to keep the job once her deception had been revealed was that she had a background in foreign languages and was the only one who could easily communicate with foreign stars. By the late 1920s, Edith had been tasked with costuming A and B films for Paramount, primarily costuming background characters. Her first big break came with the film She Done Him Wrong in 1933, when she was assigned to design the wardrobe for the bodacious Mae West, who we'll get into a bit later. While she still struggled to gain traction as costume designer throughout most of the 1930s, she gained a fair amount of notoriety from a satin crepe dress made for the 1936 film The Jungle Princess. In 1938, Head was named chief designer for Paramount, a role she would remain in for almost 20 years. She was once quoted as having said, "If it's a Paramount film, I probably designed it." In 1949, Edith won her first Academy Award for costume design for the film The Heiress. According to the Berg Companion to Fashion, Head was particularly proud of her work on The Heiress, as she had traveled to the Brooklyn Museum of Art to conduct research on the time period in preparation. In 1967, Edith left Paramount and took a contract with Universal Studios as chief designer, where she remained until her death in 1981 at the age of 83. Edith's first major costume designs were for Mae West in She Done Him Wrong from 1933. The hourglass figure gowns designed by Head became Mae's signature look throughout her career. Soon after She Done Him Wrong was released, Elsa Schiaparelli debuted a collection of hourglass figure gowns, causing the style to explode in popularity. Edith designed for Mae West again in 1975 for the film Myra Breckinridge, as seen in the photo on the right. Audrey Hepburn is perhaps the most notable name Edith Head designed for. Her costume designs for Roman Holiday, Funny Face, Sabrina, and Breakfast at Tiffany's bring to mind a certain kind of old Hollywood elegance and style that is nearly impossible to find today. The distinctive and memorable characters Audrey portrayed in each of these films was heavily influenced by Edith's masterful costume design skills. In particular, the long skirt, white blouse, and neckerchief worn by Audrey in the far right photo for Roman Holiday is an iconic look that continues to influence designers and fashionistas everywhere. My personal favorite designs worn by Audrey Hepburn come from the film Sabrina in 1954. The button-down plaid blouse with white shorts is reminiscent of current-day Tommy Hilfiger ads, while the middle right look with the all-black trousers and top with black ballet flats were a statement in and of themselves, the statement being women can dress comfortably and look stylish at the same time. Both dresses pictured here have been surrounded by controversy for years. Many believe these two looks were created by famed designer Hubert de Givenchy. However, Edith herself seems to have been the original designer. In an article from the LA Times, former mentee of Edith Head, Jean-Pierre Dorliac, dispelled the rumors that Givenchy was responsible for these iconic gowns. While visiting Edith at Universal Studios, she showed him the original muslin for the iconic black Sabrina dress, sparking a discussion between the two about the original costume designs. While it was true that Audrey Hepburn admired Givenchy, the designs for the Sabrina costumes were actually drawn by Audrey while she attended one of his runway shows. The designs were adapted by Edith from Audrey's sketches and didn't involve Givenchy, but simply drew on his Parisian aesthetic for inspiration. Another notable name for Edith's resume is Barbara Stanwyck, who was costumed by Head for several Paramount films in the 1940s. The first two designs pictured here for Ball of Fire and The Lady Eve express the glamour of 1940s Hollywood, complete with sequins and glitter, while the third image has a much more serious tone while still retaining femininity and playing to the best physical attributes of the actress. Edith was also known for having collaborated with Alfred Hitchcock on several films. She understood his vision for each project and was able to create convincing characters for his suspenseful thriller films. Grace Kelly's blue chiffon dress, worn in To Catch a Thief, in the upper right corner, is considered to be one of Edith's most iconic garments. Another notable name Head worked with included a 17-year-old Elizabeth Taylor in A Place in the Sun. The upper left photo shows Elizabeth fitting Miss Taylor. The two went on to be lifelong friends. The second picture displays another of Head's most iconic gowns. Taking inspiration from Christian Dior's new look, the first layer of the dress was actually a pastel green, covered with layers of white tulle. Flowers were embroidered onto the bust and sprinkled across the skirt. This dress is widely considered to be one of the most replicated gowns in cinema history. Head also created costumes for Natalie Wood in films such as The Great Race, as well as a number of iconic garments made for Samson and Delilah, including these two colorful and striking examples worn by Hedy Lamarr. A number of memorable and outlandish garments designed by Edith Head appear in the film What a Way to Go from 1964. Pictured are just two of many examples worn by Shirley MacLaine. Edith also designed costumes for Dorothy Lamour, both of a similar style, that gained her recognition early in her career at Paramount. Other notable names Head worked with included Marilyn Monroe, Cary Grant, Robert Redford, Paul Newman, Ginger Rogers, Bette Davis, Marlene Dietrich, Clara Bow. The list is essentially endless. No singular visual aesthetic is apparent in Edith Head's costume designs, which is exactly as it should be. By all accounts, Edith was particularly gifted at hiding an individual's flaws and accentuating their positive attributes. Every character Edith designed for was intended to be an individual with a distinct personality. Edith's job was to create a wardrobe for that character that made the audience believe in and relate to that character. Edith was in a unique position within the fashion industry when it came to sourcing and merchandising. As everything she made was for a specific character, merchandising was unnecessary because her customers were actors and actresses hired by the studio. Being an award-winning costume designer, Edith likely sourced her materials from around the world at the peak of her career. Head didn't have a target customer, as the choice in actor or actress was left to the casting directors. However, Edith was well known for being able to work with even the most difficult personalities, an important quality in a costume designer, as so many individuals have to work together to create an engaging film. Many actors and actresses appreciated Edith's design process, in which she would make multiple sketches for the same scene, because it allowed them to have a voice during the creative process. Due to the nature of costume design for films, Edith's creations had no retail format. She designed for individuals, not for fashion consumers. As stated by the late great designer Halston, Edith Head had moxie, said what she thought, and was very good at her job. Hollywood designers are different from fashion designers. What works on screen doesn't necessarily work in real life. Much of what fashion does is a reflection of fashion, not fashion itself. That being said, Edith's designs often acted as the impetus for real-world fashion trends, such as the Jungle Princess look, that gained popularity after films like The Jungle Princess and The Hurricane were released. Edith Head's costume creations left behind a legacy for costume designers that has continued to be utilized throughout the fashion industry and hopefully will continue to influence fashion for generations to come. I'd like to thank you for watching this presentation. I hope you enjoyed viewing it as much as I enjoyed creating it.